First of all, thank you so much for joining us.
Sure.
Let's get to it. It's been, a very packed year. Never a dull moment, we can say, in the city. What's been the biggest challenge or surprise for you so far?
I think the biggest challenge was to make this city politically relevant again. But first and foremost was to bring back the pride and, the trust within our employees, trust within our politicians, trust within our city. And frankly, I think that Montreal is back. You notice a lot of smiles. People feel like, oh, we have a city again. With all the problems that we had in a few years ago, and people want to turn the page. I truly believe now that they all want to work. All those planets are aligning together
to move forward,
to make it work. So
one of the biggest challenges the city seems to be facing right now, and even Town Hall, City Hall. Of course, we all remember the big protest that turned into a ransacking of some of City Hall. This pension reform with the police and of course the firefighters. We had a question. We asked our audience if they had a question, and Kieran Curley was asking. She was saying that she had a family member come into town and noticed that the police were wearing the cargo pants, the cargo uniform. All of this, of course, part of the pension reform situation. Tell me a little bit about the relationship between City Hall and the police.
Listen, we sometimes better be unpopular than irresponsible. I think that we have no choice. We want to protecting and respect the capacity of paying of the taxpayer. At the same time, we want to protect that pension plan, but we need to have a better sharing. We need that 50-50. We need also to protect it for the future. And that's what we've been doing. Now, of course, you have the unions, and some of them still have that culture of the 70s, and no more. That's it. And we have to sit. We have to make it work. Now they are playing with their uniforms after what happened to Corporal Cirillo and Adjutant Vincent. I said, okay, maybe the time has come to respect the uniform again.
And are we moving in that direction? Or?
Well, they've been doing it, and that was good for the funerals, the services. But at the same time, I think that they are missing an opportunity. And I will talk to the Minister of Public Safety anyway to make sure that if we need a legislation to respect the uniform, so be it, because the uniform is also part of that profession, and I think it's important. We all know the authority attached to it and all that, but they just missed an opportunity. They want to play like that, so be it for now, but they're just hurting themselves.
There was a recent article in La Presse where a lot of businessmen and women on Saint-Denis and Saint-Laurent are saying that they've had to move because sort of businesses are dropping on some of our main arteries, including Saint-Laurent and Saint-Denis. Tell me a little bit about, are there any plans to sort of revamp?
Well, there's some issues because of, some of the problem came from the borough of the Plateau. We have to focus and consolidate our commerce here, but at the same time we have to create some new wealth. I'm building up a strategy for downtown that will have an impact, a direct impact. The other thing, of course, is that if we're putting at level the infrastructure and we put $4.5 billion for the next 3 years, that's huge. But at the same time, it's not just to announce the amount, it's to make sure that it's working in an integrated way where it won't provoke some other problems like in the past on Saint Laurent Street, and to work in an inclusive way with the business communities, so we're all in it for it.
So the merchants don't suffer while the infrastructure
that's it. So how can we help the merchants? And frankly, I think that not only we have a plan, we're talking a lot to each other. As also the mayor of the borough of Ville-Marie, which is downtown, I'm focusing on that too. So we will help them.
And the last question, there's a lot to be made about the taxi versus the Uber versus all these different services. The taxi sort of community is saying this is taking jobs for us, but a lot of Montrealers are saying the taxi service as it is right now, sometimes women feel unsafe, they're wondering about background checks. What can you tell Montrealers about making the existing taxi service safer?
There was an issue, of course, with Uber. I'm for car sharing, but you know what? If you charge for it, that's commercial. And you need to address that also to your own insurance. And secondly, I believe that the taxi industry has to do a better job. That's why we put up an action plan, focus on the clients. It's not normal that in 2014 that you cannot pay electronically.
Very true.
Like,
very true.
duh.
Or that the picture of the driver doesn't match the driver. So yeah, so
No,
it's changing.
yeah, but it doesn't mean that because of that we should get rid of that industry. It's huge. It's 21,000 people. 60% of the overall taxi cabs are in Montreal area. So we got to do something about it. But Uber cannot just come here as an hostile takeover and say, "Oh, voila, I'm here," and we don't respect the rules. There are rules, and they have to respect it.
Mr. Mayor Denis Coderre, I could keep him here for another 20
Another
hours.
20
but
seconds.
I know I can't. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Thanks.
Continued success. We'll keep in touch. All right, coming